Hey everybody, Tim and Jordan here. Third week in a row, Star Trek Lower Decks. Absolutely love it. Ignore what all the naysayers say. Season 1, Episode 3, Temporal Edict. Although I'll admit, I didn't think this one was a great one. But right off the bat, I'm going to say, so many people are hating on this. And I like it. It's not overly serious, but I do feel a lot of people are like, it's good, but it's not Star Trek. And I'm like, no, it's Star Trek.
Honestly, I think it's probably because you're in a lot of geeky groups on Facebook, and you're very social media driven. On my Facebook and my social account, I honestly haven't heard anything about it. So
really? Nobody, not even peeing?
There is no talking of it whatsoever. Like, if I was not married to this man, it would have never popped up on my Facebook.
That's kind of interesting, though. So for you, do you feel the need to kind of bring it up? Because obviously it's not in your circles. Do you feel the need to kind of be like, hey, everybody, if you like South Park, Simpsons, Family Guy type humor, Rick and Morty type humor, hey, have you guys seen this show? Or are you more like, no, I don't want anybody to know I'm watching this?
Oh, no, I don't care about that. I have no shame. It's just more of I don't go out of my way to talk about it, so it's more of when I'm hanging out with my friends, if someone's like, oh, Lower Decks, I'll be like, oh my god, I've seen all of those episodes so far, I think it's amazing. Then, I'll talk about it, but I'm not gonna be like, everyone's gonna be like, Star Wars, and blah, 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 and I'm gonna be like, hey, so this show called Lower Decks, I'm not that kind of person, so.
Which is what I am. As I keep shame every time, because, Star Trek, because things you Google, things you talk about, pop up on Facebook and stuff. And they're the sponsored ads. And I keep posting these videos in those sponsored ads, and they get so many thumbs down. But I'm like, you guys are literally. So sad. What's not the video isn't necessarily, but on Facebook, it gets the angry face. And that's because if you see just Star Trek itself will post new episode of Lower Decks, it's nothing but angry faces.
That's kind of weird. I think people are just really closed-minded to it, apparently.
I'm loving it. I am so for it right now.
I think it's probably you have the newer generation that's liking it, but then you got the older generation that's like, this isn't Star Trek, this is meant for kids, and so I think that's
probably... Which is so not.
And yeah, it's I think they're just basing it off of...
It's animated.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
So...
nice little rant. So for this episode, what'd you think? Before you answer that, just real brief.
I was gonna say, that's a little, vague question there.
As somebody who's worked retail for 15 years, as somebody who has also had several jobs, now, what'd you think of this episode? Just over the top, just skim it like cream. What'd you think? Loved it, hated it, don't even remember it.
Oh, I remember, but it was in the middle, I would say. On a scale of 1 to 10, I gave it a 7.
Okay. I felt like it had less humor. Or at least less of the jokes. It was more plot driven.
I think this was I think they tried to be serious in this episode, but then since it was Lower Decks, they had to be funny.
Yeah, and that works. So as I've said kind of before, Jordan does not watch Star Trek, knows nothing about Star Trek. So he will talk about more of the plot points and what it kind of just stands out to him. And I come from the geeky side where every 10 seconds I'm writing a note down. So the overall plot of this is about buffer time.
Yes. And
so that entire plot comes from 2 lines of dialogue from Star Trek. Coincidentally, both from Scotty. The first one is from Star Trek 3, Search for Spock. Yeah. Kirk and Scotty are talking, and Scotty's Kirk's like, hey, how long is it going to take to get the ship fixed? And Scotty's like, it's going to take 8 weeks. And you see Kirk sit up. They're over comm, so they can't really see each other. He sits up, and Scotty's like, but I know you don't have 8 weeks, so I'll do it for you in 2.
Oh.
And Kirk's like, Scotty, have you always... I forgot exactly how it goes, but he's like, have you always, multiplied your timetable by a factor of 4? Yeah, how do you think I'm a miracle worker?
Nice.
And so that's, the first nugget. And that's from the 80s. Fast forward, I don't know, 13, 15 years or so. There's an episode of The Next Generation called Relics. And that episode is about Scotty, who has been trapped in a transporter for 80 years or something. Well, he's talking to Geordi, who's the chief engineer.
Right.
And he's like going on and on about like, captains are like children. You can't give them what they want. You have to give them what they need. And Geordi's like, I would love to talk to you, but I have work to do. The captain asked for this, and I told him it would take me an hour. And Scotty's like, so how long is it really going to take? And Geordi's like, an hour. You didn't actually tell him how long it's going to take, did you? So both of those plots are the whole, like, that's exactly where this whole episode came from. Where the whole ship basically says, like, this is what it's really going to take, but it's going to take a lot less. But then it kind of gives them time to calm down. So, again, as somebody who have both had a lot of jobs, like, have you done this? Are you guilty of kind of being like, oh, this is going to take, it's going to be like 2 hours to build this end cap, 30 minutes afterwards, you're like,
I don't know, because that's just the thing, is that, like, when I'm at work, I would say, like, I could honestly say I don't think I've ever stolen time from work.
So you're the Boimler of this episode.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, I'm always one of those people, I'm always working, like, I mean...
I'm so guilty.
Yeah, I was going to say, unfortunately...
100%, I'm the mariner of this one.
I'm one of those people, I'm like, I look at a task, I'm like, I got 6 things to get done, I got 5 hours to do it, that's like a little over an hour for each one, let's go. Like, I mean...
Okay, yeah, nope, that's not me. I need that calm down period. And then because of this episode, so we'll kind of go, we got that out of the way, we'll kind of start from the top, work our way down. You are the mariner of the beginning, where Boimler's playing the violin, which is a great, like, Data reference, and then Mariner's like, we're gonna rock!
Yes.
And they, like, the Klingons can hear it through space on the other ship.
Which is how you describe me pulling up to the house.
I can hear this full 4 blocks down at the gas station. I'm like, oh, Jordan's almost home. We've been through, like, I don't even know how many car speakers. It's ridiculous. They bring up Cardassia Prime, which I think is interesting. Because, like I said, this takes place a little bit after Voyager. We saw Cardassia Prime in, like, the Deep Space Nine. So, I'm kind of curious to see what Cardassia Prime's going through right now. It had probably my favorite scene from the trailer. Probably my favorite was the blast shield. It goes up and it goes down. And then the second part where the phaser... It's set to stone.
Yep, you're good.
Just for shits and giggles, what's the other setting?
I have no idea.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's set to stun or it's set to kill.
No.
Yeah, so she almost killed him. Let's see.
That would be something I would do.
So. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Of course, Boimler is the one who, like, admits to the captain.
Oh yeah, he's like, I skipped buffer time and went straight to my task.
Buffer time?
And unfortunately, that's like the third time, like in like 20 minutes, she hears buffer time.
Mm-hmm.
So she finally pinpoints. She like locks him in the elevator, and she's like, "What is buffer time?"
So I thought it was kind of a boring subplot, but you were all about Mariner and Commander Ransom for this episode. Them being trapped. Although I did love the line like, oh, classic Kirk, 2260s. That was great.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just the minute they got caught, I was like, I don't know why, but they are so going to do it. Like,
someone's getting laid.
Someone's getting laid.
Throughout the series. I don't know when, but...
Yep. And then go figure, he rips his shirt off and fights a monster, and I'm just like... And then she's like, ooh, this is kind of hot. I'm like, weird.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Do you think they'll... Or you think they'll just tease it?
I honestly think it's gonna be one of those growing. They're gonna tease it a little bit for a while, and I honestly have a feeling that Boimler is gonna try to talk Mariner out of it.
Ooh, that'll be a good episode.
Or
they will start hooking up, and Boimler's gonna walk in on him.
Well, you never know.
Because I don't know if he could get in trouble for that or not.
I don't know if he can either. I guess we'll find out.
Ooh, yay! Because I know in other Star Trek they've had those episodes of like the captain's not supposed to like date the crew and stuff. Okay. But then again, like we saw Riker and Troy, so I don't know. And Commander Ransom is clearly based off of Riker. Which random trivia fact? Do you know who the voice of Captain Ransom is?
No.
It's Jerry O'Connor The fat kid from Stand By Me.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, sliders, stuff like that. So of course, like, and this is why I'm 100% for the buffer effect, because like they get invaded and all sorts of shit, and the crew is exhausted.
But see,
they can't function except for Boimler over here. Yeah, he's like, I want more to do.
Yeah, he's like, I finished 15 seconds early. I'm gonna request more tasks. Like, but
see,
that's
like you're doing that, and like fucking, I'm Mariner, and like Carla is like Tendy or something, and Carla and I are just like smoking a cigarette, like, oh, our 10-minute break was over a half hour ago.
Yeah.
Yep. Right? Like, and we're like, why are you taking such a long break? Have you been in this store? Fuck the store. So I'm 100% with Boimler on this one. Or no, not with Boimler. I'm with the Boimler effect.
Yeah, the Boimler effect, yeah.
Oh, which is great. And so I loved that, where he gets the plaque for like, you get like, everybody needs a break. No, we don't. No, we don't. Name this.
They finally established, like, okay, we actually need buffer time, so everyone needs their martini every now, or their margarita every
now. Oh, yeah, margarita salt!
Yeah.
Which, realistically, unless you reprogram that, I know I'm being a stickler, but it wouldn't have alcohol in it. Because the replicators can't do alcohol.
Well.
It's synthahol.
So it's like a fake drug?
Mm-hmm. It's like a...
Okay.
Like a virgin.
That's
touched
terrible.
For the very first time. But yeah, no replica. But I mean, you can reprogram a replicator, so it does do it. And if Mariner,
I was saying it's Mariner.
It's Mariner, so
and
she
that's
probably
her area.
did.
So she probably did.
Probably my favorite little joke, spoiler, whatever, at the very end is it goes to the far future, and they're like, and that's how we got the Boimler effect.
Yeah, he's like, I hope people forget that this. He's like, I get something named after me, and it has nothing to do with me. And he's like, I hope people just forget about it.
Flash forward to the future, and they're like, named after the laziest person in all of Starfleet, Boimler. Now to the hardest working person ever, Miles O'Brien. I fucking died. I love Miles O'Brien. Right. He is one of the greatest characters ever. He's literally, like, he won the fanboy lottery because he's an extra in the pilot of The Next Generation. He's just an extra. Like, he's literally just, like, shuttle driver.
Oh, okay.
That's it. They kind of started putting him in the background of a couple episodes. He's one of the very few characters that you actually see get promoted through the years. Oh. Between season 1 and between seasons 1 and season 7, he keeps getting promoted, and at one point he's like transporter chief. So anytime they transport off the world, he's the one who does like the beep boop. Oh. Which, granted, that's still not a very big thing, but still, I mean, it's he gets married. He has an entire episode about him getting married to his wife Keiko. He has a daughter. Like, all of this happens in The Next Generation because he's in the first 6 seasons. After season 6 is when Deep Space Nine came out, and they actually took him to Deep Space Nine, and he became the main character of Deep Space Nine. He's one of the main leads. Oh. And again, he gets promoted. He's a chief. He's Chief O'Brien. And he's kind of like the mechanic, because he's not technically in Starfleet. He's like enlisted. But like he literally went from being like shuttle driver in pilot episode to one of the main characters of the series. Hmm. So I don't know. He's a great actor. He's really good. Colin O'Neely, I think.
He started as a small person, worked his way up.
Doesn't happen very often. Like, very few people go from, like, background character to, hey, congratulations, you're the lead of a series. Because he's, when Deep Space Nine first came out, he was the only actor to carry over from The Next Generation to Deep Space Nine. And then, like, season 4 or 5 is when Worf came over. But still, it was amazing. Like, he won the fanboy dream, so. But still, for them to be, like, the most, like, predominant person in Starfleet is O'Brien. Because literally all he does is fix shit.
Oh.
And so it's just great. I really liked him. So Over the Top, you did like it?
Oh, yeah.
That was good. I'm still into the show. 3 weeks in a row. I can't even fucking believe that. Are you hoping to see anything else throughout the series? Or at least the season?
Well, coming from someone who doesn't really know much about Star Trek, I can't really put my input as to what to expect.
Duly noted. Rephrased. Are there any specific plot points? Is there something that you would like to see as far as like social commentary? Like, I really want to see like a pregnancy. I really want to see drug use.
Getting pregnant on this show.
Like, I mean, like the Orion, the green girl, Tendi. Yeah. Like, if her and Rutherford like have a baby or something, like I want to see that. Like, is there a plot that you wouldn't mind? Like, you want to see them engage the Borg, or is there something you're just going with it?
I'm just going with it. I'm definitely one thing I like about the Lower Decks is I feel like if you miss an episode, if you watch the next one, you're not gonna be like, oh shit, what just happened? And that's definitely the kind of shows for me.
Except for maybe the pilot, but yeah.
Even the pilot. I mean, like.
Because the only reason I say the pilot is because it literally, like, this is Boimler, this is Mariner, this is Tendi. Like, it literally holds your hand.
If you watch 3 episodes, you'll know everybody. Yeah, that's true. And so it's just, yeah, it's definitely more of a show for me, just because that way, like I said, I mean, I've watched every episode so far, so that doesn't really matter.
Which, by the way, y'all, I know you think we're kidding. 3 episodes in 3 weeks? That is amazing. Like, that is phenomenal. I can't even. Like, whew. But, okay, go on.
Yeah.
Because somebody's watching this, I'm like, oh, what an idiot. I will watch 8 hours of television. No fucking problem. I'll do all 3 extended Lord of the Rings. 12 hours, not even get off the couch. Just sit there. No problem. Literally, the fact that he has done not only an episode a week, but an episode the day it comes out? Can't even. Don't even know who you are.
Well,
I like it.
Well, when you shove me down in the chair and you're like, watch this, I don't really have a choice, so.
I'm so happy. And the fact that this episode basically came out on our 4-year anniversary.
Yeah, that too. So.
It's meant to be. Okay, any other closing thoughts?
Nope.
Okay. So for those who have seen it, let me know. I'm sure I missed a fuck ton of Easter eggs, so I would love to see what you guys think. Go ahead, let me know. I am so excited for the next episode. Do you want to read the title? Can you read it? You want me to?
I'll let you.
So let me know what you think about this one, and we will see you next Thursday for Moist Vessel.